My cheating ex-wife came back claiming she had cancer and needed me. I hired a PI who confirmed she was lying to get back in my house, and when I confronted her with proof, she admitted everything. My cheating ex-wife came back claiming she had cancer and needed me. I hired a private investigator who confirmed she was lying to get back in my house. And when I confronted her with proof, she admitted everything. This is Marcus Webb. And this is the story of how my ex-wife faked terminal cancer to steal my $850,000 house. Jessica and I divorced 2 years ago. She cheated on me with her personal trainer for 8 months. In our bed. While I was traveling for work. I found out because he left his gym bag in our bedroom with his name on it. The divorce was brutal. She wanted half of everything. My lawyer was better. She walked away with $40,000 and a car. I kept the house, the savings, everything I'd earned. She told me I'd regret it. That she'd find a way to get what she deserved. That this wasn't over. Then 2 years of silence. Nothing. No contact. I moved on. Started dating. Focused on my career. Until Monday night at 9:47 p.m. when she showed up at my door. I barely recognized her. She'd lost 30 pounds. Face gaunt and pale. Dark circles under her eyes. Hair in a messy ponytail. Wearing sweatpants and an oversized hoodie. She looked like she was dying. "Marcus, I need to talk to you. It's important." Every instinct said close the door. But something in her face made me hesitate. 5 minutes. She walked in slowly, like every step hurt. Sat down on my couch. Pulled out a manila folder. "I have cancer. Stage 4 ovarian cancer. 6 months to live. Maybe less." She opened the folder. Medical documents from Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Official letterhead. Doctor signatures. Test results. Lab work. One page had stage 4 ovarian cancer in bold letters. "I've been doing chemo for 3 months. It's not working. The cancer's spreading. They told me to get my affairs in order." The documents looked real. Official stamps. Multiple signatures. Pages of results. "I'm sorry to hear that. I have nobody, Marcus. My parents disowned me after the divorce. My sister won't take my calls. I've been living in a studio apartment, going to treatments alone. I can't afford it anymore. The medical bills are destroying me. I had to quit my job. I'm broke. I'm dying. And I'm completely alone." She started crying. Real tears. "I know I don't deserve your help. I know what I did. But you're the only person I have left who might care if I die alone in some homeless shelter. What do you want from me?" "A place to stay. Just for a little while. I can't afford rent. I just need somewhere to be until the end." I should have said no. Should have remembered what she'd done. How she'd betrayed me. How she'd tried to take everything in the divorce. But she had cancer. Stage 4. Terminal. 6 months to live. 2 weeks. Guest room. Then you figure out something else. She grabbed my hand. "Thank you. Thank you so much." She moved in that night. 1 suitcase. That's all she had. Day 1 was quiet. She stayed in her room most of the day. Day 2 I came home to the smell of lasagna. My favorite meal. She'd cooked dinner. "I wanted to thank you for letting me stay." We ate together. She asked about my job, my life. Normal conversation. Almost pleasant. Day 3 I woke up at 2 a.m. for water. Her bedroom door was open. Light on. She was sitting up in bed, on her phone, smiling. Texting someone. When she saw me, the smile vanished instantly. She locked her phone. "Can't sleep. The pain keeps me up." But she hadn't looked like she was in pain. She'd looked happy. Day 4 I came home early from work. She was in my office. At my computer. "What are you doing?" She jumped. "Sorry. My laptop died. I needed to check email. Doctor appointments." But my browser history showed real estate websites. Zillow. Realtor.com. Looking at houses. Expensive houses in my area. Why would someone dying in 6 months be looking at $800,000 houses? Day 5, Friday, I told my best friend Kyle everything. "Dude, are you insane? This is Jessica. The woman who destroyed your marriage. And you just let her move back in? She's dying. Stage 4 cancer. You've seen proof? From an actual doctor? Or just papers she showed you?" The papers looked legitimate. From Cedars-Sinai. Papers can be faked. Your house is worth almost $1 million. That's motive. The real estate websites. The texting at 2 a.m. while smiling. The way she looked fine one moment and sick the next. "Hire a PI, Kyle said. Verify it's real. What's it cost? A couple grand? That's nothing if she's scamming you." Saturday morning, day 6, I called a private investigator. Ron Fletcher. Former LAPD detective. "I need to verify if someone actually has cancer." "Who's the subject?" "My ex-wife." I gave him everything. Full name, birthday, social security number, the hospital name from her papers. 48 hours. $2,500 up front. I paid it immediately. That night Jessica asked to stay longer than 2 weeks. The treatments are destroying me. I don't think I can handle apartment hunting. Maybe a month? She looked so weak. So sick. How could I say no? Okay. A month. Thank you, Marcus. You're saving my life. She hugged me. First time in over 2 years. It felt wrong. But I hugged back. Sunday, day 7, I went to the gym for 2 hours. Came back and Jessica was in my bedroom. Going through my closet. What are you doing? She spun around, guilty look on her face. Looking for a sweater. I'm cold. Your stuff is in storage. Right. Sorry. Brain fog from the meds. But she wasn't looking at sweaters. She was looking at the top shelf where I kept important documents. Property deed. Will. Insurance papers. That night I moved everything to a safe deposit box. Monday morning, day 8, Ron called. We need to meet. In person. Not over the phone. What did you find? Not over the phone. Can you meet today? 1 p.m. The urgency in his voice made my stomach drop. I met him at a coffee shop. He had a thick folder. Your ex-wife doesn't have cancer. Never did. Everything stopped. What? Jessica Webb has never been a patient at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. I called their oncology department directly. No record. No appointments. No treatments. Nothing. But the papers. Forgeries. Good ones, but forgeries. I had a document expert verify. The signatures are fake. The formatting doesn't match actual Cedars-Sinai reports. He showed me comparisons. Jessica's papers next to real ones. The differences were obvious once you knew what to look for. But she looks sick. Weight loss can be intentional. Makeup to look pale. Not hard to fake. He pulled out more papers. Her actual medical records. From her real doctor. Physical from 3 months ago. Completely healthy. No cancer. No treatments. Nothing. The records were clear. Patient in excellent health. No concerning symptoms. 3 months ago. While she was supposedly starting chemotherapy. There's more. He pulled out photographs. Surveillance photos. Jessica at a nail salon getting a manicure. At Whole Foods with full bags of groceries. At a restaurant having lunch with a man I didn't recognize. Looking perfectly fine. Healthy. Normal. Who's the guy? Derek Matthews. Real estate agent. Specializes in high-end residential properties. Why would she need a real estate agent? That's the question. He showed me phone records. 47 calls between Jessica and Derek in the past 2 weeks. I got transcripts of some texts. He handed me printouts. Derek, how long until you establish residency? Jessica, he said a month. Maybe longer if I play it right. Derek, 30 days minimum. Then we can start paperwork. Jessica, what if he figures it out? Derek, he won't. Nobody suspects cancer. Perfect cover. I read them 3 times. Each time worse. What paperwork? In California, 30 consecutive days living in a property with owner's permission can establish tenancy rights. In some cases, if they prove financial contribution or domestic partnership, they can claim partial ownership. We're divorced. But if she lives there 30 days, pays bills, receives mail, claims you reconciled, it gets murky. She could file palimony. Claim you promised to care for her. That living there constituted a new domestic arrangement. That's insane. It's a long shot legally. But if she's desperate, she might try. Worst case she gets laughed out of court. Best case she gets a settlement or claim on the property. My hands were shaking. She faked terminal cancer to move into my house to try to steal it. That's what the evidence suggests. He showed me bank statements. She told you she was broke. She has $14,300 in checking. $23,000 in savings. Credit card statements. Nordstrom. Sephora. Expensive restaurants. Over $6,000 in charges in the past month. What do I do? Get her out of your house. Today. Now. Document everything. If she refuses, call police for trespassing. If she tries to sue? You have all this. Proof of fraud. Forged documents. Text messages showing premeditation. No court would side with her. I drove home in a daze. Betrayed again. By the same woman. But worse this time. She'd fake dying. I walked in at 2:47 p.m. carrying Ron's folder. Every piece of evidence. Jessica was in the kitchen making tea. She smiled when she saw me. Hey. You're home early. I was thinking we could order Thai food tonight. Maybe watch a movie. Like old times. I set the folder on the counter. We need to talk. Her smile faded. About what? Cedars-Sinai Medical Center has no record of you. No appointments. No treatments. No patient named Jessica Webb. Her face went completely white. I hired a private investigator. He pulled your actual medical records. Physical 3 months ago. You're perfectly healthy. No cancer. She opened her mouth but nothing came out. You were photographed yesterday. Nail salon. Whole Foods. Lunch with a real estate agent named Derek Matthews. Her hands started shaking. I have your phone records. Text messages between you and Derek. About establishing residency. About 30 days. About claiming ownership of my house. I showed her the texts. I have your bank statements. $37,000 in savings. You're not broke. She sat down hard in a kitchen chair. Did you fake terminal cancer to move into my house and try to steal it from me? Silence. Long, horrible silence. Then quietly, yes. Just like that. Yes. Why? Because you took everything from me, Marcus. Everything. I got nothing in the divorce. I've been struggling for 2 years while you live here like nothing happened. You cheated on me for 8 months. I made a mistake. And you punished me by taking everything. 8 months isn't a mistake. It's 240 days of choices. And you decided to leave me with nothing. I left you with exactly what the law said you deserved. Fair? I got $40,000. You got $1 million house. So you faked cancer? She didn't answer. Just stared at the floor. How long were you planning to keep this up? 30 days. Derek said I needed 30 days to establish residency. Then file a claim. Say we'd reconciled. That you'd promised to take care of me. That we were in a domestic partnership again. We're divorced. But if I lived here 30 days, paid some bills, got mail here, I could claim we'd reunited. My word against yours. And the fake cancer? Was the perfect excuse. Nobody questions cancer. It was Derek's idea. Derek knew? He helped me forge the documents. Found the templates online. Said if I got back in, he'd help me claim the house. He'd get 10% of whatever I won. Conspiracy. Fraud. Forgery. The texts at 2 a.m.? Derek. Planning next steps. The real estate websites? Figuring out what the house was worth. What I could claim. Every answer made it worse. Did you lose weight on purpose or just makeup? Lost the weight. Crashed diet for 6 weeks. Stopped wearing makeup. Baggy clothes. I needed to look believable. She'd planned this for months. What about when 30 days was up and you had to explain why you weren't dying? Miracle recovery. New treatment. Experimental drug. Something. The important thing was establishing residency first. You realize you committed felonies. Fraud. Forgery. Conspiracy. You gonna call the cops? I should. But you won't. Because if you do, this goes public. Local man kicks out dying ex-wife. Even when the truth comes out, people will still think you're heartless. She was right about the optics. But wrong about what I'd do. How much? What? How much to keep quiet? That's what you're going to ask, right? She actually smiled. I was thinking $200,000. Half of what I should have gotten. You pay me, I disappear, we both sign NDAs. This woman I'd married. Who I'd loved. She'd faked terminal cancer and now wanted to extort me. Get out. Marcus. You have 30 minutes to pack and get out of my house. Where am I supposed to go? I don't care. Hotel. Derek's place. The street. Anywhere but here. Be reasonable. I pulled out my phone. Started recording. Say it again. For the record. Did you fake having cancer? She stared at the phone. You're recording this? Did you fake having cancer? She looked at the phone. At me. At the evidence folder. Yes. I faked it. I faked having cancer to get back in this house because you took everything and I deserved better. I stopped recording. You just confessed to fraud on camera. So here's what's happening. You're packing your bag and leaving. And if you ever contact me again, if you ever try any legal claim, if you ever tell any version of this that makes you the victim, I'm going to police with everything. The forged documents. The texts. The confession. You'll go to jail. So will Derek. You wouldn't. Try me. She went upstairs. I heard her throwing things into her suitcase. Slamming drawers. 28 minutes later she came down with her suitcase. She stopped at the door. This isn't over. Yeah. It is. She left. Slammed the door hard enough to rattle the windows. I called the locksmith before her car left the driveway. New locks installed by 6 p.m. Security cameras up front and back by 8 p.m. Motion sensors. Alarm system. I wasn't taking chances. 3 days of silence. No calls. No texts. Nothing. Then Thursday afternoon my phone rang. Unknown number. Marcus Webb? Who's this? Amanda Price, Louisiana Times. I'm working on a story about cancer fraud. I understand your ex-wife Jessica Webb recently faked terminal cancer to move into your home. Would you comment? My stomach dropped. How did you? She contacted us. Said you kicked her out while she was dying. That you refused to help her because you're bitter about the divorce. She's painting herself as the victim. I'd like your side. Jessica had gone to the press first. I have proof she faked everything. I'd love to see that proof. I met Amanda at a coffee shop an hour later. Showed her everything. The surveillance photos. The real medical records. The text messages. The forged documents. The recording of Jessica's confession. Amanda's eyes got wider with every page. This is much bigger than she told me. She said you were being cruel. She didn't mention any of this. She wouldn't. Can I use all this? With your permission? Use everything. I want people to know exactly what she did. She's going to deny it. I have her confession on video. Amanda smiled. This is going to be one hell of a story. The article dropped Friday morning. Local woman fakes terminal cancer in elaborate property scam. Everything was in it. The surveillance photos. The forged documents. The text messages with Derek. Excerpts from Jessica's confession. My side. Her real medical records. Within 2 hours it was everywhere. Local news. TMZ. National outlets. By noon cancer fraud was trending on Twitter. Jessica's face was on every news site. The photos of her at the gym. At the nail salon. Looking perfectly healthy while claiming to be dying. My phone exploded. But this time with support. Friends I hadn't heard from in years. Former colleagues. Even strangers sending messages saying they were sorry I'd been put through this. Friday afternoon Derek Matthews was arrested at his office. Conspiracy to commit fraud. Forgery. His real estate license suspended immediately. His company fired him. Local news showed him being walked out in handcuffs. That's when Jessica called. You destroyed me. Crying. Screaming. My face is everywhere. People are calling me a monster. Someone threw dog shit on my car. My boss fired me. My landlord is evicting me. You ruined my life. You did this to yourself. I made a mistake. You faked terminal cancer. Forged medical documents. Conspired to steal my house. Those aren't mistakes. Those are crimes. Please. Please make this stop. Call the reporters. Tell them you made it up. I didn't make anything up. It was fraud. And I'm not helping you. I'll tell everyone about the affair. How you drove me to cheat. How you were never home. Go ahead. Nobody's going to care when you're the woman who faked cancer. Please, Marcus. I'm begging. I have nothing. No job. No apartment. My family won't talk to me. I'm living in my car. You should have thought about that before committing fraud. Don't call again. I hung up. Blocked her number. She tried emailing. I filtered it to spam. She showed up at my house Saturday morning. The cameras caught everything. Her walking up. Knocking. Then pounding. Then yelling. Marcus. Please. I'm sorry. I have nowhere to go. I called police. They arrived in 6 minutes. Gave her a trespass warning. If she came back, she'd be arrested. She left screaming that I was heartless and everyone would know what I really was. Nobody cared. Everyone already knew what she was. The district attorney filed charges Monday. 3 counts of forgery. 2 counts of fraud. 1 count of conspiracy. Derek got the same charges plus 1 more for using his professional position to facilitate crime. Their mugshots were on the news that night. Jessica's face red and swollen. Derek looking like he wanted to disappear. The preliminary hearing was 2 weeks later. Both pleaded not guilty. Both claimed it was a misunderstanding. That the documents were real. That the texts were taken out of context. That I'd made it up. The prosecutor played Jessica's confession video. Her voice clear. Yes. I faked it. I faked having cancer. The judge denied bail for Derek because of a prior fraud conviction. Set Jessica's bail at $50,000. She couldn't make it. Stayed in jail. The trial was 3 months later. I testified for 2 days. Showed the jury everything. The forged documents. The surveillance photos. The text messages. The bank statements proving she wasn't broke. Jessica's lawyer tried to paint her as desperate. Someone wronged in the divorce who made bad decisions because she was traumatized. The prosecutor showed the texts from 6 weeks before. The planning. The premeditation. The conspiracy with Derek. The crash diet to look sick. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Both of them. Jessica got 3 years. Derek got 5 because of the prior conviction. The sentencing hearing was brutal. The judge called it one of the most callous, calculated frauds he'd ever seen. Said faking cancer showed a complete absence of moral character. Jessica cried through the whole thing. Said she was sorry. That she'd made mistakes. That she'd been desperate. The judge wasn't impressed. You had $31,000 in savings. You weren't desperate. You were greedy. You chose to fake a terminal illness to exploit someone's compassion. That's not desperation. That's evil. 3 years in state prison. Derek got 5. The news coverage was everywhere. Cancer faker gets 3 years. Jessica's face became the symbol of fraud. TikTok videos got millions of views. Reddit threads for weeks. I stayed out of it. Didn't do interviews. Didn't comment. Let the facts speak. Some people still thought I was heartless. That I should have helped anyway. That turning her in was cruel. But most people understood that what she did was unforgivable. Jessica served 18 months before parole. Got out early for good behavior. Moved to Arizona immediately. Changed her name legally. Jessica Lynn Morris now instead of Jessica Webb. I heard she's working at a call center. $14 an hour. Living in a studio apartment. Trying to rebuild a destroyed life. Derek did his full 5 years. Lost his license permanently. Last I heard he's selling cars in Nevada. I sold the house 6 months after the trial. Too many memories. Bought a condo downtown. Fresh start. Started dating Rachel. She's a teacher. Kind. Honest. Nothing like Jessica. Been together 8 months. She knows the whole story. Doesn't judge me for being cautious. People ask if I feel guilty. If I regret pressing charges. If 3 years was too harsh. No. Not even slightly. Jessica faked terminal cancer. Forged medical documents. Looked me in the eyes for 8 days and lied about dying. Planned to steal my house. When I caught her, she tried to extort me for $200,000. She deserved everything that happened. Some say I should have been the bigger person. That I should have kicked her out quietly. That involving police and press was overkill. But if I'd done that, she'd have tried again. With someone else. Some other victim. She needed real consequences. The kind that follow you forever. The kind that show up when someone Googles your name. Because people like Jessica don't stop until they're forced to. They don't feel guilt until they face punishment. They don't change unless they're broken. I broke her. Completely. Publicly. Permanently. And I don't feel bad about it. Last month I got a letter from Jessica. Forwarded through her lawyer because of the restraining order. 8 pages. Handwritten. Saying she was sorry. That she'd spent every day in prison thinking about what she'd done. That she understood how wrong it was. That she'd hurt me in ways she couldn't undo. That she hoped someday I could forgive her. The last page said she was in therapy. Trying to be a better person. That she knew she could never make it right but wanted me to know she was truly sorry. I read it once. Then shredded it. Because some apologies come too late. Some betrayals are too deep. Some lies are too big. Faking terminal cancer to steal someone's house? That's unforgivable. She wants forgiveness? She doesn't get it. She wants redemption? Should have thought about that before faking dying. She wants sympathy? She lost that right when she forged medical documents. I'm done with Jessica. Done with her lies. Done with her manipulation. She got what she deserved. Prison time. Destroyed reputation. Criminal record. A life she has to rebuild from nothing with a name change and a minimum wage job in Arizona. And me? I got my peace back. My life back. My ability to trust again, slowly, with Rachel. I won. She lost. And I sleep fine at night. This is my warning. If someone shows up with a terminal illness story, verify it. Especially if they have a history of lying. Especially if they stand to gain something. Especially if something feels off. Because people like Jessica exist. People who will fake the worst thing imaginable to exploit your compassion. People with no conscience. No limit to what they'll do for money. And the only way to stop them is exposure. Complete. Public. Permanent. My cheating ex-wife came back claiming she had cancer and needed me. I hired a pie who confirmed she was lying to get back in my house. And when I confronted her with proof, she admitted everything. She faked dying to steal my house. Now she's living like she actually died. The end.